Many people who have contributed to the understanding of this, especially Rian Eisler, who wrote The Chalice and the Blade, that spoke to these issues in the 1970s, and many other people who have written about the rise of the understanding of the importance of the mother, of the goddess, and the sisterhood of humanity. We have fallen terribly back in the United States, and as a ripple effect, currently cultures like Egypt and Israel and India are falling backwards, and Pakistan are falling backwards. We also speak for the wife of Confucius and the sister of Confucius, and the understanding of the yin and the yang, and the understanding that the Chinese have that women hold up half the sky. And we speak for Kuan Yin, the mother goddess of the Chinese. We speak for all of humanity, appreciating the mother and the sister as much as the brother and the father. And these are the new commandments of a new millennium. We hope we have given them to you in time, so that you may live long and prosper. Live perhaps forever and prosper. Not only on this planet, but on all living planets that humanity was intended to be connected to and populate throughout the universe in loving equality through the opening of the stargates and the discovery of the fountain of youth. May we put aside our hoarded wealth, count the work of women, count the wisdom in decision-making of women, who are more egalitarian and less hierarchical even in their brain structures than men are, and less aggressive and less quick to anger. Men have many wonderful characteristics. They tend to be much better at technology, although there are many women who are good at technology. But we appreciate the technological advances brought by men. But they are of no use if they are not helping the entire human family, female as well as male. And if they are hoarded and made into simply agents of hoarding false wealth. Humanity has abundant wealth. And by counting the work of women and remembering the Jubilees, this wealth can be fully realized for all, even the so-called falsely wealthy. We call upon the falsely wealthy to do what Siddhartha did. Renounce it and become Buddha, if you are a male. And if you are a female, don't get caught up in the acquisition of false wealth. We call upon the Queen of England to do a jubilee with her wealth, so that she becomes a sister, an equal sister, to all the sisterhood of humanity, and all the queens of the world. We ask them, and all of the very wealthy women as well as the very wealthy men, to realize that only if you use economic measures that count the unpaid work of women, which redistributes wealth automatically at a quantum level, can humanity proceed into the new millennium. We must make these changes now, and we must see that these commandments are brought to our media and not kept secret from humanity, but shared. I love all my sisters and brothers. I am sorry so many have died for nothing, for the practice of patriarchy, which is a misunderstanding of the goddess God. I am so sorry that so many have lived in poverty. I am so sorry that so many women have been abused and so many children have been abused. I am so sorry that so many good men have been silenced by more aggressive men. I say we make these changes now as a human family, all of us. And I call upon especially the CEOs of the media, Mr. Moonves, Mr. Bukes, Mr. Murdoch, and there are others of ABC, CBS, NBC, and other stations around the world, Mr. Berlusconi's empire. And we call upon Mr. Berlusconi to recognize his need to do something other than just tiring female of the Japanese culture, to understand her own importance in protecting the land of the islands of Japan from further earthquakes and tsunamis. This is necessary in every national region on earth. Many are already well along the way. We hope these commandments, as well as our declarations on July 4th of gender-balanced government as a transition for the United Nations and the United States of America and Canada and all English-speaking countries that were affected by the original July 4th, are a declaration for the entire human race in its manner of government. And these commandments are for the entire human family and community, the entire human race in all its hues and colors on the planet Earth. In this year, dating back to 2000, retroactive, we must catch up with what we have failed to do. I swear and hope that my Mother, Father, Goddess, God gives us the little bit of extra time that we need to catch up on the terrible lag that we have produced. We in the United States must particularly safeguard, and I also say this to Mr. Netanyahu and the Knesset of Israel. Mr. Netanyahu, if you don't have a female co-partner, you are no longer the Prime Minister of Israel. You have to have two female co-partners and a male co-partner in our model of gender-balanced sisterhood and brotherhood. And you have to ensure the Knesset has balance of gender. You know there are women's representation parties in Israel and women's parliaments. You have great resources right there to be a model for the world and for the entire region. There is simply no excuse any longer for Egypt or Israel to fall back and to go back to the primitiveness of the days before around the time of Moses and Solomon, who had so many wives. On my father's side, I'm descended from Solomon, and I know that men cause terrible pain to women when they are not faithful to one woman. Solomon made a grave error with having so many wives. And we speak to changing the entire human story into her in history and elevating the woman to the equal of the man and living in humble sisterhood and brotherhood with the blessings of our Mother, Father, God. Both the Indian nation and the Jewish nation have the triangles overlapping. Those are the masculine and feminine principles overlapping. It's the Sri Ganesh, or the star. It's called the Star of David, but we say it's the Star of David and Davida. We say it is the star of the female and the male overlapping, and so is the Sri Ganesh. These are visionary symbols that can give humanity guidance. We say also the cross is the overlapping of the female and the male. And when it rises, it is the risen symbol of life, not the symbol of death. When the cross understands that it is the intersection of the female and the male, and they are fully equal, then it is no longer a crucifix. It is a sign of life. The Egyptians have their Ankh, which is a sign of life, a very ancient symbol. There were goddesses in the Egyptian tradition before Muhammad came with his polygamy, and others came with their polygamy. And in the Egyptian, Amenhotep, he had one wife, and many people think that Moses and Amenhotep were one person, the same person. We are all one human family, and there is no need for human beings to migrate out of one place to another to find freedom. We will find the promised land in every land if we practice sisterhood and brotherhood risen. Gender balance in government, gender balance in media, gender balance in the life of the family and the community, appreciation for the mother. The father should be behind the mother and spend time with her when the child is young, and bonding with the child. And as the child grows older, both parents are necessary as good models for the child and are equally important. And that is true whether the child is female or male. These are the understandings of a new millennium. Let us begin it. We are 12 years late. We cannot afford to wait to 2016 or 2020, or we will have no 2020 hindsight. We will not be here. Only Mother, Father, God will have the 2020 hindsight of humanity's failure. We must have 2020 foresight now, or we won't make it to 2020. We must change our ways and move and transcend patriarchy and become the culture of gender balance. We have created an ark on the internet called the Ark Earth in Balance. We remember Nama as well as Noah. But we want the whole humanity on board this time, not just a remnant. We hope we have given this message in time for that to occur. Bless you. Blessings of the Mother and Father on every sister and brother throughout the world. Thank you.